Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 to my playthrough of WarPlan. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. You can like the videos and, of course, love your comments. Now, just other games have been sort of keeping me busy. The last real objective with this is going to be an invasion of Britain. But right now it is January 43, so we're doing well in that sense, and we have double secret super rain in the Channel area, while out at sea, generally speaking, lots of snow. So now is not the time to invade Britain. It is not even a terribly good time to be. Let's look at supply. Okay, yeah, you get over the hill, get to some supply. So you're at least not red, yellow maybe, but not red. Okay, so we're going to just try to sort of hold out for the winner here, which hopefully will make these turns go faster. Doing a lot of reinforcing and upgrading, some for them. What do we, okay, ready, an airfield, yes. You've known about that airfield, just ready to deploy it when it is ready, or when it is needed. Sorry, not when it's ready, when it's needed. Excuse me. Yeah. So we're done with this turn here. Okay, well, they were able to bomb on their turn. And deal with what partisans we can. Try to keep the rail lines open. Yes. Push them back. I don't know if it did us much good, but keep those rail lines there. Because that is why I'm worried about it. Because those are roads, and so we have to get rail supply. Wait a minute, is that? Yeah, that's roads. We got to get our rail supply all the way up and around through here to get these guys in proper supply. And so that's very near Vitebsk as well. Now out here, can we make any useful attacks? Was somewhat useful. Now let's you can wander around out in the snowy plains. Okay, supply, those guys, those two there are not in it. Okay, that will help. Securing that. Looking for other, okay, you can come up to here and say hold, you'll just come at least hold there, keep taking the town. Or this city, maybe I should say. Alright, okay. February 20th. We have a fair amount of planes, but we can move you a little closer there. Yeah, I know the weather is sort of good, but I still don't need to do it in the snow on the ground. So we're going to wait. We got a pretty big stockpile. Let's upkeep currently is nothing for Italy, so let's do that. Well, yeah, let's do that, but maybe we should another Alpini Corps, because I don't know that I need another armor or mechanized forces. Yeah, we have a German mechanized, a German armor down here, Italian armor. Yeah, and this is affordable and could be good in the rough terrain. So let's purchase that. Since we had built up a stockpile, they've got something in the stockpile there. Not really much. And they just sort of hold on. They're doing just fine. They're just sitting there. So are the Iranians. Romanians have a pretty big stockpile. Infantry division, maybe? Or 2 or 3? Up out in the east? Manpower? There we go, 3 Romanian infantry divisions. Okay, 3 Romanian infantry divisions. Those are probably going to be somewhat useful here, just holding down all of the areas, battling with partisans, that kind of thing. Right. Okay, well, let's yeah, they don't have any supplies now. Hopefully soon they will get some more. Might overrun the air unit. You'll get up there to try to do that there. You come this way. You come here, you come here, I guess. One to one. No, I don't really need to attack you right now, as in, like, need to. Want to, absolutely. Take that, which will open supply up a bit more. I wouldn't mind having all these resources out here, but I don't think it's necessary. And we're going to keep pushing. Okay, well, a lot more units just got supply out here. Which is nice. Okay, and air army done with. Well, now they're keeping supplied. Okay, an SS Cavalry Corps. We'll see if we can deploy it out here somewhere. Yeah, Warsaw looks like a good place for that. In May for you guys. It was Romania. Okay, March 30th. I'll get those 3 divisions that will help considerably. Oh, they've taken Sebastopol. The partisans have. Okay, well, we'll see about getting that back. Just a little bit of an aside. What is going on out here? Well, I think some sort of Russian government element, whether it remained Soviet, whether it was some sort of attempt to restore the Tsar. Yes, there are people alive today related to the Romanovs that I don't know who. I know there's like some claim, but I don't know how strong, quote unquote, their claims to the Romanov throne would be. After they killed the Tsar and his immediate family, there were other Romanovs also butchered too. And butchering isn't an inappropriate term for what happened to many of them. And so I don't know, so yes, you could prop up somebody. I don't know how much credibility he would have with the Russian people, especially in that sort of situation, as opposed to, a conquering hero. Romanov would probably have lots of credibility with the Russian people. But just someone sort of propped up, I don't know. So, but I don't even think a Romanov claimant would be likely. I think either one of the weird sort of Nazi fascist type groups, there were several of them, several of them for Russia, if you will. Probably the one that had the most people in support was the one based out of Manchuria or Manchukuo under the Japanese support. There's also another guy in the U.S. Who, used a swastika. Yeah. How butchered up and mangled people use symbols. But so a fascist or national socialist in one format or another regime might have been a thing. Just a straight old military dictatorship might have been a thing. I don't know. But I think there would have been, the Germans would have wanted to, this is what I get from my readings of Adolf Hitler, particularly. He's the real controlling element of it. Wanted to strike a peace agreement with somebody, and if you go, oh no, look what, I don't know, somebody says, it was fight on and what. No, they didn't want a peace agreement that sort of went back to, the border at start or something. It wasn't, Hitler wasn't ready for ever, the idea of, you know, I don't, even if they kept the Baltic states and all of Poland or something, he wasn't going to do that kind of peace agreement. But something, maybe, not saying is, but maybe the idea of the Russians keeping Moscow, as sort of the major city on their westernmost border or something, I don't know. But definitely something out here is what he, whether it's a puppet state or a rump communist state, and those can be two very different things. That's what he was looking for. And he did think that, okay, well, because he knew that Germany wasn't capable to properly occupy all of this land. So he did, unlike Himmler, who wanted to have the Germans, at least for a while, to be overlords of the local peasantry, sort of a German aristocracy over the whatever. At least that's how I sort of read some of the SS propaganda coming, which has to be approved by Himmler, coming out about things. Hitler was more of an exclusionist, much more of an exclusionist. And so he wanted a German state populated by Germans, not German rulers ruling, and I mean German population dispersed as opposed to, Germany sort of governs puppet state, a few, administrative issues. I'm talking about Himmler the idea was, going to be a local, like this Hex or something is owned by an SS squire or lord who is, lord over the, the peasant masses or something like that kind of thing. So he wasn't looking for that. Hitler wasn't looking for something like that. Hitler was looking for exclusively German territory, and definitely shifting people and having puppet states out here. And so he knew he wasn't going to get, even if the, we unconditionally surrender, the Soviets, Russians, whatever you want to call them, because they remain Soviets. And we unconditionally surrender from here to all the way to Vladivostok. It's all yours. And even if Hitler goes, okay, well, Japan gets Vladivostok and things east of what is Lake Baikal out there, or something like, even if give that to Japan, Germany isn't capable of properly administering all of this. And Hitler knows it. So Hitler doesn't want it all. Hitler does believe that there's going to be multiple wars over multiple generations as Germany continues to push German territory east. And partly he wants that, I think, in his ideology, to keep Germany strong, and that there is an enemy out here, that Germany periodically fights them, and it's a brutal, hard fight, and it keeps, instead of being peaceful, comfortable life, it's every 30 years or whatever, there's a 3 or 4 year war that's a brutal, hard war out here, and then we readjusted the borders and set that up, and then have 30 years of peace, and then the next war, and then the next war. And that's how he sees it, I think. And this is sort of with what's happening out here, is what, in this sort of somewhat, I'm just being pocketed, not so much realistic, but somewhat realistic, I would say, in that we're out here beyond our Germany's ability to properly. And part of what was, whether in Himmler's or Hitler's plan, for quite some time there was going to be these kind of things happening, partisan type outbreaks that they were going to have to be violently policing. But this is sort of what you see in 1984, which was, the original title was 1948, but publisher Scott Orwell, to change the title, was sort of like a forever war that's out there fighting against whoever is ongoing, and tank battles and whatnot. Not necessarily ones that are all-consuming, all total, totalitarian, total mobilization for like happened in Germany, but more of an excuse for the failures of the system, an excuse for the totalitarianism of Orwell's stuff. We have to do this to keep the fight alive in the East. And that just was sort of what reminded me of that. Okay, let's get back to playing. We are in February. We've deployed, and we've not deployed because they're not ready yet. Okay. Okay, some no supplies. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to these guys. Damn. Oops. Oops. The Admiral forgot about his submarine fleets and they're starving for lack of supplies. There's some fleet operations up there going on. Okay. You come back to this port. I forgot about those. Wow. So the Americans are shifting something more out here. And there's some stuff shifting around. Okay. Oh, super heavy rains again, so no chance of air operations, which are fine. I am. Well, let's see. March. Maybe next turn we'll do shift some more of the air powers down here up. Well, let's see. Maybe we should start now. We'll do like an Adler Tag Eagle Day. Well, these guys were shifting the other way because they're going to be down here to help us have at least some air power in the region. So I think if we move most all of these other air units up and out, we'll be able to hold from whatever attack for a while with the forces we have. And I'm really planning on relying upon air power to get across. Let's see. Okay, one airborne unit there. Don't I have another one out here? Maybe it's still in the east. All these guys have, well, just such bad weather. It's hard to have them walk across anywhere. Yeah, I know they will repair themselves, but I'm sort of impatient, plus just wanting to. You get Sylvester pulled back. What I had, wasn't sure if he was still out here or if I thought I had 2 airborne units. Maybe is he in North Africa? Am I just missing it here? Oh, that's right. Well, I don't know. Thought I had another one. I'm not going to swear that I did, but I thought that I did. Maybe you've already saw it. There, it's right there, gamer. You've missed it. Okay. I don't know. Let's look more carefully here. And yes, I read these counters naturally, but still, that's the one I've identified. It could be under one of the area units, but I don't think so. Partially just looking at strength here. Oh, there it is. There it is. It is just under there. Okay, there it is. Okay, so that's the first Fallschirmjägers, and no, and it's the second one. Okay, so we have those two here on railways to get them to. Well, let's use truck supply and truck supply because we want to get them up to 100%. I mean, it's still way too early to drop them or anything, but I want them to be droppable into sort of, you know, like maybe there and there or somewhere here to cover more direct assaults. Sort of an opposite to D-Day. Let's send you to here. Just a little conscious of things moving around if they're thinking about some sort of invasion. I don't know. And of course, well, I mean, he's on a port. It's another open keel canal. That might be a good place. They can be loaded onto ships once we've invaded and are, you know, pushing our way up through Britain. We can use those forces. We got back to Odessa, marching around for no great purpose. Now out here. One to one. Not the best odds in the world. And I've removed all of my air power, so I can't even push with. Yeah, we'll wander out there a little bit. It looks like they're losing units to lack of supply. Let's move up a little bit there. And they were coming in March, weren't they? Is this March 30th? Okay, so not this turn, that's for sure. I'm also playing a little bit of Partisans 1941, which is a bit of a tactical game. You might want to check out some of the videos of that. Just seeing all these partisans made me think of all of that. Okay. They hold. They're going to come up. Secure the railways there. They're going to come to there to push there. Securing railways. Okay, supply. 9. Okay, let's. Yeah, I know it's winter. It's just me being impatient. We do have these guys. They can fly up there. They come to help me there. They can ride down here and not do anything. Yay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move these air units. They may come in handy. One of the reasons, as I remember, why I didn't send them out there was just supply issues, generally speaking. Okay, yeah, this is still just because even if we had done an invasion, it's way too much rain to do the air support that we need to do. So yeah, that's just not a thing to do. Let's move you up to here. You come here. Come to here. I don't know about how to have to fly around all of that, but whatever. Just make sure we have somewhere out here. Okay, well, I think we're going to end this episode here. No, not much happened, but probably be another episode like just before we get to the invasion of England, and I'll put a big, invasion of England thing in the title. So see you next time for more historical gaming.